This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 1606, Previews! Wait. I'm Brian Chrisman.
I'm Shane Kelly.
I'm Adam Murdo.
And I'm Chris Eberly.
Playing Doctor Strange.
Oh, is that what you were doing? I thought you were giving him the finger.
Well, I did, but he had thrown his hood up, and he was doing all kinds of stuff, and it looked strange-ish.
By the crimson bands of Cyttorak.
Welcome to our previews episode. We have a lot going on here. We may run a little long because we haven't gone. We have some free comic book day talk.
God, I hope not. I have to get up early.
I know. We have some CGS Mailbag to go through. I think I'm also going to work into. I have some Brian Deemer chat we recorded a little while ago. I'm trying to work that into the episode. So yeah, previews and then everything else. But so bear with us as we get through some few things first.
Previews, etc.
That's correct. I like that.
Etc.
So we'll be going through the previews catalog. This is the May previews catalog for items going in shops, mostly starting in July. And as always, with our previous episodes, this episode is sponsored by Discount Comic Book Service. Go to dcbservice.com for all your pre-ordering needs.
Bundles, look at
yeah,
bundles.
I say the same thing all the time because it's true. When you pre-order any DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, or Image book, right away they are 40% off cover price. With their specials, there's sometimes up to 50, 60, even 75% off cover price. Most other publishers are between 20 and 35% off cover price. And again, I mentioned their specials. They've got bundles where they're bundle things together for one low price. They always seem to have, and doing it again this month, half off cover price any new DC or Marvel trades or hardcovers.
Love that.
That is so great because I have a couple I'm going to order this month from them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can get monthly shipping, twice monthly shipping, weekly shipping, bags and boards. We love them. We've used them for quite a long time. They're good people. Discount Comic Book Service, dcbservice.com. So this is our first chance to have some chat about Free Comic Book Day, which happened on Saturday, May 7th. Shane, you actually, unfortunately, couldn't make it to Wild Pig with the rest of us.
That's true. I did, however, get 20 minutes or so at Golden Eagle in the middle of the day. I rushed over, had some Free Comic Book Day experience.
By yourself?
Just by myself.
Okay.
The kids were in the middle of their soccer stuff, and I ran back in between respites of that. Yeah, it was good. I was glad to get out and pick up a couple things. And then,
what'd you pick up?
I picked up the Doctor Who Free Comic Book Day, as well as the Suicide Squad, the Civil War, the Captain America, Pink Panther, and boy, there was something else. Maybe Sonic for Matt. He likes Sonic. And the reason I like Golden Eagle is you get two, and then you buy whatever else you want, and that all gets donated to the one library.
50 cents a comic.
50 cents a
comic.
comic.
Well, you go to local library. They've done that for, I think, since the inception.
I think so, too.
I think that was Lem's
absolutely
idea.
And I loved it. And then I went back and picked up a couple missed Batgirl issues and a missed Batman issue that I wanted to read that I didn't order, and I think that was it. Yeah, just a couple comics after that. Okay. Oh, God, Cryptozoic, the DC deck builder. I got the Arrow and Watchmen little expansion things.
Nice.
Too.
Oh, yeah, we played the Watchmen version at Chris's house over the sleepover several months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was, well, you weren't involved in that game.
I know.
It was me, it was Bill, it was Jamie Hatton, and Jeff Valentino's wife.
Nice.
Was it good?
I won, so yes.
Oh, well, Shane, can we bring it down to Heroes Con, me and Murd?
Not that one.
No?
I didn't open that one yet.
Oh. You have a month to open it up.
Too bad.
Think of us.
No.
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 Right now, Pants' tone is indicative of a child who's been so let down on Christmas morning.
Yeah, and I have
fantastic.
And I'm 14 years parent here. It's easy to go no.
Oh, come on. on.
No.
I'll be your buddy.
I'll ground you.
Oh, no.
I'll take away your phone.
Oh, no, you won't do that. How else am I going to
Okay,
do
then.
nothing with my phone?
You've just been deaded.
Oh, gosh.
That's true.
So we had a good time.
Yeah,
But
it
only
was good.
20. Well, yeah, I guess you got your
Hey,
own fatherly duties. I
I was
understand that.
happy getting 20 minutes when I didn't think I'd get any, so
Okay.
that was fine. It was good.
All right. Well, then, Murd, myself, and many others went to Wild Pig Comics for Free Comic Book Day at Chris's humble store. Thank you again for hosting
Indeed.
the event, Chris. It was wonderful.
Oh,
Here, here.
Brethren, thank you for joining us. It wouldn't be the same if some of the CGS crew weren't there.
And we also had a Peter the Rios appearance.
Sure
And
enough.
let me tell you, Peter was bin diving until we closed.
Like a mad
Wow.
fiend. He was making
he was shot. He was in hog heaven.
completing a circuit of all the bins.
Wow.
Nice.
Was he looking for anything in particular?
He had a list. He was looking for some Priest Black Panther, Blue Beetle Shane.
Ah, excellent. Good man.
And he and Mr. Phil were going at it the entire time we were open.
Oh, I missed Mr. Phil, too.
Yeah.
It was magnificent.
So things went well for you, Chris, then I take it.
Yes, it was a great day. We had, steady business when we opened all the way till we closed around 6. The auction was a lot of fun. That went well. Pants, of course, won some key items there.
I was going to ask. That was my next question. Did Pants win any auctions?
Of course he did.
Yeah, I did.
You won the big one, didn't you?
Well, what big one are you talking
The
about?
Batman comic.
I don't know what you're talking
Batman
about.
number 91. Very
Yeah,
good condition.
I did get that one.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I actually did I did Periscope. We attempted, somebody asked on the forums about doing a Periscope, which I guess is a live stream of audio and video. So
Okay.
we did that. I did a test here at the studio. I did the opening, and I was almost 25 minutes of the auction, which was kind of fun. And maybe boring if you weren't there because you couldn't bid on anything. But yeah, so I bid on and won the Enemy Ace Joe Kubert Artist Edition, the massive Miracle Man Artifacts Edition, and yes, I got Batman number 91. So that now is my oldest Batman comic.
Okay.
And let me tell you, Pants is a
He's ruthless.
not ruthless. Not the term I would use. He's just so steadfast in an auction. I mean, he goes to battle. And let me tell you, a couple of those auctions, Pants, you were in a bidding war with a couple of people on a few of those items, and you I think you pulled it out almost every time. Essentially, you persevered. So. But it's just a cool, calm, collected customer on the auction floor. Let me tell you.
Well, I knew I was recording. I didn't want to be a complete fool and go, I did do my usual bidding, 52. I did do that a couple times.
You did.
I
Yep.
had to do that. I mean, I didn't have to, but I did. But yeah, I picked up a couple of other back issues as well. Peter actually pointed out to me and found me the 4-issue Falcon miniseries from a
Nice.
Christopher Priest. Before, I guess, it was with James
Owsley.
Owsley.
Yep,
So
James
I
Owsley.
have that 4-issue miniseries. A few other scattered issues here and then. But one of the biggest finds, and I missed it when it first opened, multiple copies of early issues of Warrior Magazine.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm talking there were multiple copies of issue 1, 2. I got 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. Of course, this is the UK publication where you saw Marvel Man, V for Vendetta. I'm like, holy cow! I even showed Peter. Come here,
Wow.
Peter. I got Peter a couple of copies and some things.
Jeez.
That's not often encountered on this side of
Yeah,
the
for
Atlantic.
$1 a piece.
Nice.
Yep.
Like, score! I even tweeted, I was so happy. Look what Pants found. Blah, blah, blah. I was so happy about that.
Eamon Clark was impressed.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So, yeah. And, of course, Bert had his many, many small handwritten notes, which is awesome.
Yes, reduced to rags and tatters, but I was at least able to read them. And like Peter, I picked up a big pile of Christopher Priest Black Panther issues. I've completed my run of Infinity Inc., Volume
Yes.
1. Well, some more recent things I found in the bins, too. A couple issues of IDW's The October Faction that I needed. And what I think was the most interesting thing of the day, an issue of Green Lantern Green Arrow, number 112, written by Denny O'Neil, in which we learn the secret connection between Alan Scott of Earth 2 and the Green Lantern Corps of the Earth 1 universe.
Nice.
How he got his
Nice.
powers through the magical Star Heart, which was put in place by the Guardians.
Very, very nice.
Murd, happy to oblige.
Well, I'm no less honored to have been there and have taken part in the festivities than you were to have us, Chris. A splendid time was had by all.
Did you go to the
Legendary.
diner?
Oh, we went to the diner, all right.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Very good.
The Kenilworth Diner.
Yep, had some free pickle spears.
Excellent.
Oh, and let's mention John.
Yeah, John Rose from Michigan.
Oh, yes.
Truck
Oh,
driver,
yes.
truck driver John.
His wife was visiting their daughter in Florida, and he made the long haul out to Kenilworth, New Jersey, just to be a part of the festivities.
Very nice.
That day with us.
I was
That's
like,
cool.
He brought donuts at the very beginning. He's like,
Nice.
And he walked out of there with a very large box of purchases.
And thank you, John. Besides just being a hell of a nice guy, you were helping us in last-minute preparation before we opened the doors. And he didn't even get a hotel. He just drove in, I think, because he's a truck driver, so he slept for a few hours, then he drove home.
Nice.
And I know he got home safely because he emailed me, so that was a relief.
Cool.
Good.
But it was really it's such an honor when listeners, and other listeners came as well. And some people gave the CGS 52 code when they checked out.
I had forgot it to do almost.
Yeah, I just purposely didn't.
$5 is $5.
Seemed like a classless move.
Well, come on.
I'm trying to support Wild Pig Comics.
Well, it's $5, I'm sure. But who else we saw there? Of course, you mentioned Mr. Phil from Any Spinner Rack. Was it Jason and Sarah?
Yeah, Jason and Sarah Daniels, right.
All right.
They come to every event.
Yep, love talking to them.
There's a
Absolutely.
couple others. But he had a very sweet hat. Jason did a nice little.
Oh yeah, his hair's a little different every time I see him.
Yes.
But yeah.
Well, I should have wrote down names. I actually had the portable recorder with me, do some recording. I don't know how it happened, but I somehow missed the memory card. It's not in there, so I couldn't do any recording. I have to look through the studio for, or just buy a new one. So, Merv, you know names. Did I miss anybody who we knew?
There was someone we didn't know yet, but his name was Mike, and his son John was with him, and they were shopping for comics. And John was showing me images from a comic he's doing called Quake, which involved masked vigilantes versus dinosaurs. It looked kind of cool. Other than that, nothing else is coming to me. I'm sorry.
There was a gentleman, I think his name was Randy. Forgive him for getting his name wrong. Very nice guy with his wife. He's a listener. I'm sorry if I'm misremembering your name, but very nice couple. They came as well because they commented on the Black Panther Spotlight and how much they enjoyed it.
Oh, excellent.
Cool.
So,
very cool. So a fun day.
Had by all.
Fun day had. Let's see. Also, before I forget, I want to mention that we just had another new Crisis Tapes episode go up recently.
yes.
I've already listened to it as well. 3 hours, and it's all wonderful
3 hours.
glory.
Yep, come and get it.
Nice.
This is part 2 of issue 3.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Up to issue 3. All right.
And
One issue per year.
well, I like their explanation of having another one so quickly because they want to get the second half of the episode of the issue done. So now
Keep that momentum.
keep the momentum going. Yeah,
But and in Merdonian time, they're really doing this episode after episode. We just don't know it.
And the tidbits you dropped in about that song about the Western heroes, I never knew that before. That's incredible.
Jack's are on the forums. My friend from Bowling Green, Chuck Coletta, pointed that out to us on our forums.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That was wonderful. So I listened to it. I all this morning I listened right the whole damn thing. It's wonderful. Also, what I mentioned, I really enjoyed doing this with Chris. We did our grading tutorial video.
That was a lot of fun.
If you haven't seen it already, it's on our YouTube channel.
I love your reaction at not knowing how long you ran.
Yeah.
At the end of that.
After we stopped, well, I'm going to mention also on our forums. After we recorded, Chris, and after you left, I was incredulous. I didn't know we recorded that. It was like after midnight. I thought we was like a half an hour. We recorded for an hour and 20 minutes, and it was pretty much off the cuff.
He was going wacko. I wish I had a picture of his amazed face. What? It's after midnight? What? Over and over.
It was so much fun. And like I said, just a basic tutorial, nothing too, but it was fun to dig out my old back issues and show, here's showcase number 34, the first Atom,
And I watched a little bit of it after you posted it. I liked controlling the camera and transitioning between things that you guys were doing. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad it worked the way it did.
Yeah.
That was
well
well
done.
done.
Do some other video in the future.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very fun. All right. Also, before we get too far along, we have a little bit of backlog on the CGS Mailbag. So I don't know, Merv, do you want to go first?
Letters. We get letters.
We get sacks and sacks of letters.
Okay, here is one from our good friend John Morrissey. Big John goes by the Marvel Man on the forums. He sent this in some time ago. And then I got an email from him concerning it because I had just opened up a package from someone by the name of Tracy Morgan.
That's right.
What I didn't realize at the time is that's just the dealer that our friend Dr. Eamon Clark in the UK had gone through to send that copy.
That
makes more
sense. So
sense.
it was from Eamon.
It was from Eamon all along.
Because he said he was going to send one. Okay.
Right. So he sent me that copy of Superman Annual number 11 for the man who has everything. And then we have this envelope here in the studio addressed simply to the Murd from Big John. And after we recorded that episode in which I opened Eamon's copy, John emailed me and said, "Oh, okay, I just imagine my surprise when I was listening to this episode and I discovered that the copy you received was not from me." Had a good laugh about that. So thanks for doing that, John. And I'm sorry it's taken this long to open your package on the air. And thank you properly. Thank you very much for thinking of us. The subject line of the email John sent me was, "Ha! See how many people love you." So much obliged, John, for showing that love to me in this form. And John gave me his permission to pass on this copy, and we'll just dispose of it as I see fit. And I have already decided and made arrangements with Shane.
I'm excited.
Sitting to my immediate right to take this copy from
Very
Big
cool.
John
Thank
for
you
his
very
very
much.
own.
So
And
now he is the man who has everything.
That's right. After Murd already had everything.
and I actually went ahead and read that issue already. So tell you what, we can actually do like a little sort of a mini off the rack.
Yeah.
I would like that.
I'll read this before we record again, and maybe we'll talk about it then, because
Excellent.
I've never read this copy. I think I have it in a trade,
I went this long without reading it.
I
too,
have it in
so
a trade
don't
as
feel
well.
bad.
and I just don't think I've ever sat down to read it.
Excellent.
So, no, thank you. That's great. And thank you, Adam. That's fantastic. I appreciate it.
And yes,
I'll enjoy it.
speaking of John Morrissey, I also got a package from him as well. It says here, "Hello, Pants. A little birdie tells me that you're in need of this issue. Well, not anymore. I wonder what it could be, because, I still buy back issues, so I don't know
Batman 91.
That would be funny.
That would be really, really weird. So forgive me as
But boy, that'd be funny.
wow, it's
Fingers crossed now.
packaged rather securely, which is good.
Need a scissors?
No, I have the knife here.
Don't cut your finger.
I won't cut my fingers. It's a safety blade. It's for clutches like you use at the store.
Yeah, that's what they
What do
say.
we have here? You have got to be kidding me.
It is Batman. No, I'm just kidding.
It's Detective Comics 260.
Wow.
Wow.
Jiminy gods. Because I mentioned on... Oh, my God, John. Wow, that's... I'm speechless. That's amazing, John. Jiminy gods. Well, dinner's on me if you see that at Heroes Con.
Nice.
Holy cow.
Batman and Robin solve the mystery of the Olympic Games of Space. That's cool.
Batman representing Earth versus Jupiter in the Anti-Gravity Bowl.
Stop the contest! The Earthman's cheating! Because that's what Batman does. He cheats.
Exactly.
In boxing gloves that have no thumbs. That's great.
Oh, my goodness.
10 cents. Oh, God, if only.
Wow. So, John, thank you again very much. You have another box over there, I think, Mr. Murdo?
Yes, I do. This one was sent to us by Roger Preby of Garfield Heights, Ohio. It's addressed to Comic Geek Speak for Adam Murdo, so it is attention me. There is an enclosed message. I also sent you a copy of the DVD I did. Okay, so this is something that he made himself with Jerry Conway. It's 3.5 hours long, and we go over his whole career.
Oh, wow.
Maybe give the website a nice plug, www.offtherecorddvd.com.
Nice.
I have a copy of that DVD because I used that before I spoke to Jerry Conway in Denver Comic Con a few years ago
remember that,
as a
yeah.
panel.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you...
I mean, we talked to him before as well, but yeah, so that's an excellent video.
Wow. offtherecorddvd.com is the website for Roger's Jerry Conway interview. Check that out. I would like to hear what you think of it. And Adam, make sure you share with your fellow CGS peeps. Oh, and now we've got
All right.
plain
Yes.
brown. Are these...
So yeah, this is... We have one more package to open here. This is from, my God, Julie Benson sent us a package here.
Yes, to thank us for letting her come on the show.
Yes, it's-
please.
I have a
which she
handwritten-
made so much more awesome by her presence.
Absolutely.
We should be sending her presents.
Yeah, well...
We can do that.
Well, anyway. I'll be at Comic-Con, so you want to bring... I'll take it along after.
No, I'll send it myself.
Okay. There's no return address. You have to figure that out.
I can tweet her.
Oh, my God. That's right. You're on Twitter. I forgot.
I am.
Okay. Anyway, it says here, and it says open. She put a smile face. It says, "Hello, my CGS lovelies. Just sending you a little something to say thank you for having me on Comic Talk and for years of podcast enjoyment. I trust you'll be able to get Danny and Chris their gifts, as I know they live further away. Love, Julie Benson."
I like her handwriting.
All right.
Yep, she apologized in advance for her, as she described it, serial
Serial killer.
killer handwriting, because apparently she hasn't written anything by hand in a couple of years.
All right. So Let's see what we have here.
I can relate to that. I don't print very well.
No, not a day goes by when I don't write something with a good old-fashioned ballpoint.
Nice.
I'm just what do you have there, Shane?
Nice Prismacolor colored pencils.
Oh my!
So yours is addressed to Shane and the kids.
That's right.
Yes.
But, well, Ben draws quite a bit lately, especially when we take his phone away. He's become quite the art interested party. Kind of wants to do something in art as he gets older.
We must encourage that as much as we can.
Absolutely. Nice. Thank you.
What did you get, Adam?
I wondered why they smelled like school supplies.
Well, Julie, she told me before she sent the package that the thing she picked for me was, quote, as much a gift to herself as to me.
Okay.
I wasn't sure what she could have meant by that. I see two possible interpretations. It's a VHS copy of Galaxy Quest.
Which is awesome.
In the shrink wrap.
It's shrink wrap.
Yeah, I don't know
my
where she
God.
found a mint condition thing like that. I don't know if she got it from eBay or what, but I know this is a favorite movie of hers. She's been bugging me to check it out for a couple of years.
I've never
now.
seen it
great
either.
movie.
That movie is awesome.
Have not seen it. Now I've got it in my preferred format.
It was on Netflix.
So it's either this is something she had sitting around her apartment and it's a present to herself because she's clearing space now by giving it to me, or it's a present to herself because now I will have seen it and I'll be able to discuss it with her.
Yeah, that's a fantastic movie.
Thank you, Julie.
Oh my God! Now, if you heard me laugh, it's because I got a book. It's called "The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up: The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing."
Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
I'll borrow that when you're done.
So, oh my God, that's like so. She knows I have a problem.
Are there pictures?
Are there pictures? Let's see here. There are no pictures.
All right, you're going to have to read that one.
I am going to have to read this one. Oh my God. Well, yes, Julie, thank you very much. And I said, Chris and Danny, I have your things in the box here.
And you just may not get them.
terrific. Thank
Wait
you.
a minute. Wait. Oh, wait a minute. There's something for Shane here.
Good heavens.
Uh-oh.
Oh, something for Shane and the kids and something just for Shane.
Wow.
All right.
Now,
Oh
Chris,
my God, and there's dum-dums in here as well.
Nice.
Little lollipops. Oh my God.
If there is a butterscotch, hands off.
All right, well, hang on a minute.
yeah, Chris, would you prefer that we leave your present intact until you can get here to open it yourself?
Yeah, I'll open it up next time.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Which makes sense for the pencils. A Doctor Who adult coloring book. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to hide this from the kids for a while.
Wow.
That's great.
Digging the artwork. It's kind of like Austin's spare posters.
You know, I have been hemming and hawing about getting one of these things and trying it out. I know a lot of people, adult people I know, some at work, some through other means where they get these and just color them. I saw them start coming around Christmas, and they seem to have been a big hit. And I've seen the Doctor Who one. I've picked it up, but I never purchased it. So this is great.
Yeah, I as little as I know about Doctor Who, I am just fascinated by the drawings.
Oh, it's some trippy drawings,
it is
man.
psychedelic poster art. That's
There's a great Cyberman page that is just out of this
goodness
world
gracious
trippy.
me.
those color pencils make even more sense now.
All
That's
right.
cool. Thank you.
Well, yeah, Julie, thank you so
Wow.
very much.
So say we all.
Well, and in true Shane fashion, the first package I smelled, I'm like, wow, that smells like pencils. Son of a gun, colored pencils.
All right, so we have mystery flavor, cotton candy, original
Probably-
pops, and root beer. If anybody wants any, I'll pass them around. And I actually have one more thing here, but it's from
one, man?
Patrick James Esslin, but it says to open during a comic talk. So I'll save this for another time. So again, thank you for everybody. There's no need to send us packages, but they're very much appreciated. So thank you very much. Well,
Thank you.
let's dive into our previous catalog now. Now, unfortunately, Chris can't stay very long. So why don't we, at the very beginning, let's go over the off-the-rack choices. So
Sounds good.
let's discuss about them. And usually we choose a DC, a Marvel, and an other book to talk about in a future episode in some in-depth. So at least we're talking about new comics. Well, we couldn't really find a Marvel book this month, so we went with
No.
DC and two independents. And so, speaking of Julie Benson, hopefully she's I don't know if she's going to take the, but we actually are picking the very first book she's ever written, with her sister Shauna, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey Rebirth #1. It's on page 86 of your previews catalog. Who is Oracle Chapter 1, with art by Claire Rowe, covered by Yannick Paquette, and variant covered by Ben Caldwell. So that will be our DC selection for Off the Racks. And if you get one of the DC bundles, you can get that in a half-off bundle. And the variant, I believe, is in a 45% off bundle. So
That first bundle from last month, $20.
nice, yes, because a lot of bundles for DC and Rebirth right now. So that is our DC choice.
That's good.
We're not pulling any punches, Julie. You and Shauna better bring it.
Oh, gosh.
No pressure.
Yeah. Then our other choice, one of our other choices, I should say, for a off-the-rack selection is on pages 286 and 287 from Archie Comics, Betty and Veronica #1, with written and art by Adam Hughes. I always want to get this anyway because I'm enjoying very much the Archie book and have dabbled a bit in the Jughead books. And yeah, so this is a. I think Danny suggested this choice actually, and it makes perfect sense. It's a cover price of $3.99, but it's half off. The Adam Hughes cover is half off at DCBS, and they have, I believe, 25 covers.
They sure do.
Including some by Mahmoud Asrar, Cliff Chang, Bilquis Evely, Francisco Francavilla, and many, many others. Andy Price. So that will be one of our other selections for Off the Racks. And actually, Murd, I think, suggested this one, and it made perfect sense. On page 454 in your catalog, under Valiant, Faith #1. This is, I guess, the new ongoing from that title.
Yep, and they're also offering a trade of the recent miniseries.
Yes. So the ongoing, now there's, again, many covers for this. One of the main covers is half off at $1.99. So those are our choices for Off the Racks. Sort of an all-female-centric books. Batgirl, the Birds of Prey #1, Rebirth #1, Betty and Veronica #1 from Archie, and from Vine Entertainment, Faith #1.
Which is,
Quick question. And I speak out of ignorance here, has Adam Hughes ever done interior art on a full comic book?
it's been a while, but yeah, I remember he used to be the artist on Legionnaires, I think.
Also, Maze Agency way back in the day.
Oh, that is way back.
We did
that's
a book
way
of the
back,
month
okay.
club on that.
Way back.
But I also looked, he hasn't really written many things. And, I don't know him, but I know people who know him, and I've seen him at conventions. So,
Oh, yeah, Heroes Con, he's very visible.
Yes, but he's always usually very quiet. It takes a while to get him to start talking. But he has an incredible sense of humor for everything that I know about him, especially when you look at some of his drawings he's done.
I was just going to say.
So I am looking forward to this so much because, he draws beautiful women, and he's got a great sense of humor. And there's actually a nice article in the previews talking about this book. So I'm looking forward to this very, very much.
Very cool.
All right. So let's jump in, I guess, to the previews catalog. Starting with Dark Horse, as always, gentlemen.
Oh, and let me just strike first here on page 46.
I was looking at that too.
Yeah, well, this is something that was actually solicited from Dark Horse months ago. It was canceled for reasons to which I'm not privy, and it was supposed to be resolicited later, and later has come. We are now once again getting the opportunity to buy Black Hammer #1, written by Jeff Lemire, art and cover by Dean Ormston. And this is basically Lemire's take on a group of characters who, the lives they lead after being retconned out of their superhero universe. It's kind of like Superman and Lois Lane of Earth 2, Superboy Prime, and Alex Luthor of Earth 3 after Crisis on Infinite Earths. These characters are in that situation. They're in this idyllic little farm someplace outside of time and space. And it tells about their histories and what they're thinking and feeling after being stuck on the outside looking in of the universe of which they were at one point a part and now no longer are. So it's dealing with superhero revisionism and in kind of a poignant humanistic style, and it's a crisis theme, and so of course I'm all over it. I mean, I am thrilled that we're finally going to see this book. So yes, bye for me.
Yes, and the main cover is half off at $1.99.
I want to point out on page 50 and 51, they're launching a new Conan book, Conan the Slayer, written by Cullen Bunn. I want to comment on the art on page 51. The artist is, forgive me if mispronouncing this, Sergio Davila. Look at this pencil art, Pants.
I'm looking at it right now.
I mean, you talk about shades of John Buscema here. This is beautiful work.
Sure is.
To me, it's very much in the spirit of Buscema, who I consider probably the greatest Conan artist of all time, and his lengthy work they did with Roy Thomas on that character. So, I mean, that is gorgeous pencil work, and that's just a classic rendition of Conan right there. So, art alone, that may be worth picking up. And Dark Horse has done a lot of good stuff lately with the Conan character. Sorry, Pants.
Absolutely, half off at DCBS, $1.99.
Flip the page to 52.
To what?
52 and Predator versus Judge Dredd versus Aliens miniseries. And
exactly as awesome as it sounds.
Well, and the art on page 53 looks none too bad either.
Yep.
That's by
Chris Mooneyham.
Chris Mooneyham.
Yeah, that's going to be way over the top and enjoyably so.
Page 55 has Neil Gaiman's Troll Bridge hardcover.
Yep, looks like a graphic adaptation of a short story, art by Colleen Doran.
Page 60 has something that I keep promising myself I want to get into and I never do yet. The collected editions of Usagi Yojimbo. The Saga, this is book 7 being solicited. I have got to find a way to get book 1. And
me too, Shane. I've never read this book and heard nothing but good things about it.
I never have either, and it's just even the trade paperback edition looks like it would be gorgeous to have, let alone if I got like the hardcovers or anything like that. And next to that is a new Gru, Fray of the Gods, #1, on page 61.
That's all Mr. Deemer right there.
Yeah,
totally.
Anything else from Dark Horse, gentlemen?
No, that's it for me.
Well, there's a 5th volume of the Astro Boy Omnibus on page 77. So
good.
More classic action manga there isn't.
I would also point out on page 74 that Dark Horse, has the rights to. They're reprinting now both the Eerie magazines and all the Warren stuff, and they're also doing the EC Archives Weird Fantasy Volume 2. Again, if you're a fan of comic book history, these are both two very important titles that are definitely worth checking out.
On to DC.
To DC.
Okay, and like I said, as I mentioned, there are not one, but two DC Rebirth, well, actually 3 DC Universe Rebirth bundles that DCBS is offering. One of them actually is try all 30 of the Rebirth variants. That's 45% off. But they have 2 separate bundles where they are half off the various Rebirth titles, and the other one is, the first one is like the 2nd and 3rd issues of last month's titles, Rebirth, and then new one is all the new stuff. So half off. And I'm gonna keep going with this while it's half off. At least for the first couple of issues.
Me too.
I want to give it a fair shake. Again, I'm picking and choosing. It's like, if they're all half off, why did I do it that way?
I can't do it when the half off bundle's just that good.
Yeah, well, and I want to give a lot of these titles a shot. It's a Rebirth. I am very much looking forward to that Rebirth, the DC Universe Rebirth issue when that comes out.
Speaking of Rebirth, I'm looking forward to hearing the Last Crisis tapes. I know Peter and Murd did a little analysis on what it might be about.
And the one character I think you and Peter agreed on who you think it might be, I think it was your first choice and his second choice.
My first choice was a Monitor, so it's...
Oh, so it's your second choice?
I think it was both of our second choices, actually.
And it's like a...
Oh, it's a character...
Yeah, I won't give his initials, but they're saying the first and last initials.
Right.
It's like, oh boy, if that's it, count me in.
I'm going to listen to that episode, but after we're off the air, I want to talk. I want to ask you what that is then.
All theories will be shared.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the event as a whole, but I find that this month there are fewer new titles that I'm interested in than last month. So while I was in for the DCBS bundle last time, this time I think I'm just going to cherry pick.
Okay.
See, I'm still interested in both Batgirl Birds of Prey and Batgirl, as well as Nightwing. The new Superman, I really like the way that art looks for new Superman, number one.
And it's not the new Superman.
No,
it is just new Superman because the dialect of Chinese that the character would speak does not have an equivalent of the English the.
Nice. Batman looks interesting to me. Detectives, where they have kind of the school of things going.
Yeah, with a Batwoman.
That one interests me.
Clayface, I'm very interested in that.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
For me, again, it's all about the writers. So Dan Abnett on Aquaman, the great Tom King on Batman, Greg Rucka on Wonder Woman, Tim Seeley on Nightwing. And those are the books I'm going to be sampling.
And,
Dan Abnett on Titans, number one.
Also on Aquaman. I don't know how far ahead anybody else is, but page 112 has something interesting.
That's where I'm at,
I knew
too.
you were going to go there. I want to leave it for you.
That's where I am.
Actually, I think Brian should take this one.
Really?
Because I've never seen a full episode of the British Avengers.
Really?
series.
Oh my goodness! I've seen quite. I think I've seen most of the Steed and Peel stuff, which is what this is. Anyway,
Sure.
Oh, the comics, yeah, but the TV show. I mean.
I've seen a TV show. Yeah, this is Batman 66 meets Steed and Mrs. Peel, or if you want to say it, Batman meets the Avengers.
Right.
But that would be a little misleading.
It's a little harder these days to
Probably
say
get a
that.
lawsuit somewhere in there.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Written by Ian Edginton, art by Matthew Dow Smith, with a sweet, sweet Michael Allred cover.
I do like.
Oh, yeah.
I like seeing how they're continuing the Batman 66, even though it's been canceled for this main book. I mean, he was with A Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yep.
I saw somebody posted on Facebook on Dana Dio's page. Well, hey, it's the 50th anniversary of the Monkees. How about Batman and the Monkees?
Oh, God, I
Monkey
would
Men!
Oh, Monkey Man!
They were in Kingdom Come. Why shouldn't they meet
Oh
Batman
my
66?
God, they were in Kingdom Come.
I would absolutely plot.
Plus, there was a Monkees episode where they spoofed Batman
Uh-huh.
with the slide cameras and the
Yep.
Biff and the Pals and everything.
Yep.
Oh.
That would be perfect. Even if it's a one-shot, I'll take
And
it.
the new album's coming out from the Monkees pretty soon. I'm going to see them in concert.
That's
Oh,
fantastic.
great!
I'm
great.
excited about page 114.
I am too.
Oh my
Wow!
God! Oh
Wonder
my
Woman
God!
for
yes.
Amazon hardcover written by Jill Thompson, art and cover by Jill Thompson. Look at this! Wow. Now, DC's really pushing Wonder Woman up for obvious reasons, but I have yet to read, although it's on my nightstand, the Grant Morrison Earth 1 Wonder Woman book that's come out.
I just read it over the weekend in between soccer games.
Well, how did you find it?
I like the artwork a lot. The story was okay. It's not bad by any stretch, but out of all the Earth 1 books, it's probably my least favorite story.
Okay.
But I want to let it digest a little bit and look through it again.
That's fair.
Well, when more of us read it, we can discuss it in more detail.
Yeah.
It
I
looks
wasn't
like
unhappy about
this
it.
is yet another version of Wonder Woman's origin, essentially,
That's what it seems like.
as interpreted by Jill Thompson.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of origin overload with Wonder
Yeah,
Woman,
because
right?
you have that Legends of Wonder Woman series. We reviewed the first issue of that.
Which is very good. But then we've got Greg Rucka retelling the New 52 origin in alternating issues of the Rebirth series.
And this Earth 1 really gives a complete... I mean, the whole thing is dedicated to her origin again.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about Wonder Woman Earth 1 because Morrison has confessed in the past that Wonder Woman is one character that he hasn't had a very good handle on creatively. So,
Yeah,
does that come through in what he wrote?
I'm not sure. I'm a little bit iffy on some of his choices, but again, I want to digest it, talk to you guys about it a little bit when it comes time, and maybe try to read through at least some of it again, skim through it, and see how I like it again.
On page 116, on a lighter note, the triumphant cover indicates the return of the Flintstones.
Which
Those are
almost
comic
looks
books.
like a putty-esque Fred Flintstone. Which is just fine.
So is there an 8-ball on the back of his loincloth there?
Yeah.
Written by Mark Russell, art by Steve Pugh. I thought Amanda Connor was supposed to be involved with this.
I don't know.
And that one I don't remember.
And I think it also has to be pointed out that the Hanna-Barbera inspired series have been bumped up to a $3.99
Yes,
cover.
I got that notice from DCBS as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, the only one I'm going to be reading is Future
Quest.
That's mine as well. That's the only one I've pre-ordered consistently.
Not even Scooby Apocalypse?
I got the first issue of that. I'm just not sure about continuing that one. Wacky Raceland, I have zero. I love Wacky Racers. I don't
Shane?
like. I don't know. I just don't like the way this looks.
Good boy. Good boy.
Not wacky enough by half.
No. Too Mad Maxy for me.
Yeah. But something that is a little more wacky, page 123. I know you'll be happy to see this. It's a Scooby-Doo team-up month. It's a semi-monthly book.
I love that book.
Bi-monthly. Am I getting that right? Yeah, bi-monthly.
Comes out every other month.
Yeah, bi-monthly.
Let's go with that.
So, yeah, it's Scooby-Doo teams up with Hawkman and Hawkgirl against the Hawk Rogues Gallery. So we've got Shadow Thief, Fadeaway Man, and Mattermask.
Oh,
That's
my
awesome.
Goodness.
Charlie Fish is a great guy.
Awesome. On page 125 is the Batman Meets the Man from U.N.C.L.E. hardcover, which I specifically... I have all the issues for the main series, but I don't for any of the miniseries. I only have the hardbacks for all of it. Like, I've ordered all the hardbacks for the main series, as well as have the issues. But for all the miniseries, I've been getting all the hardbacks, so I'm excited to see that come out.
On that
page, I'm sorry, Mark, go ahead.
On that same page 125, we've got Batman Volume 9 of the post-Flashpoint material, Bloom, in hardcover, introducing my nominee for Best Villain of 2015, Mr. Bloom.
Bloom.
And on page 126, I always love when they do callbacks to the history. They're putting in now softcover of Batman the Golden Age Volume 1, which I guess DC is now replacing their Chronicles series.
I guess.
So this is Detective Comics 27 to 45, Batman 1 to 3, New York's World Fair Comics number 1, $24.99. They've already done a Superman Golden Age, and I think later on in the book they have the hardcover version of the Wonder Woman Golden Age.
I just prefer the format of the Chronicles, much easier to handle than a big-ass 416-page book. But I'm not running the show. Page 127 has a Coloring DC Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad Volume 1 trade paperback coloring book.
On page, and I haven't finished this yet, but what I've read is wonderful. I know some of you guys have also extolled its virtues. On page 134, Superman, Lois, and Clark, the Jurgens Weeks miniseries. They're putting that in a trade paperback.
I've been waiting for that trade to come out, so I'm going to be ordering that.
That's a great series. On 131 is the Omega Men trade.
That's just what I was going to say.
All 12 issues, which I've been waiting for. I think I have most, if not all, the issues, but I wanted to get a trade of the complete thing.
I have most of the issues. Golden Eagle was kind of under-ordering that one. Didn't have a lot of shelf copies. But, yeah, we were a little hard on the first issue because it wasn't – I still say he didn't start the series off on the best foot, but it definitely got better once he went back and reintroduced filled in certain blanks. It's been
page 137. I'm sorry, Murray, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chris.
Again, the emphasis on Wonder Woman continues. We have Volume 1 of the classic Perez era Wonder Woman 1 through 14 from the 1980s. They're doing because their 75th anniversary, a box set. Wonder Woman Volume 1, Gods and Mortals, that's Perez. Wonder Woman Down to Earth, which is, that's Greg Rucka. Wonder Woman The Circle, I'm not sure who did that one.
Gail Simone.
And Wonder Woman Volume 1 Blood, which I assume is Azzarello.
It is.
So if you want to get a good primer on Wonder Woman, there you go. And on the following page, they continue their 75-year anniversary hardcover series with Wonder Woman, a celebration of 75 years hardcover. William Walton Marston, the creator of Wonder Woman, Robert Kanigher, who wrote a lot of Wonder Woman stories in the Silver Age. When you think of Kanigher, you think of DC War Comics, but he wrote Wonder Woman as well. In fact, in the old Wonder Woman Spotlight you guys did years ago on Wonder Woman in the Silver Age, you emphasized the Kanigher role. Azzarello, Jimenez, Simone, Rucka. That's a hell of a collection right there. And then Wonder Woman the Golden Age Omnibus Volume 1 below that, a $75 hardcover.
The only thing in the trade section I have left is on 135, to go back just a little, is Superman and the Justice League of America Volume 2. I missed that they solicited Volume 1, so I sought it out online to look at it, because here it specifies Justice League America 69 through 77, which is after Superman Battles Doomsday. Issue 69 actually is the unsolicited, announced, if I remember right, number 69, where the Justice League does help Superman battle Doomsday. I went back and looked at the first volume to see what numbers fall in there. And from the other Justice League trades that were coming out, I think they got up to Volume 6. The first 4 came out in a hardcover. Then the next 2 only in trade. It stopped at like 30s or 40s. So there's a gap between where that trade paperback run ends and this one begins. So even if I would get these, not that I need them because I have all the issues, but there's a whole gap of the Justice League book of this era that's not anywhere, and I think that's odd. So I want to know where those missing volumes are.
Gentlemen, I apologize. I have to depart soon. May I comment on a couple things further in the book before
Yeah,
I
I was going to go right ahead. It's all up to
I
you.
appreciate it. I just wanted to point out in the Marvel section, Star Wars 21, I love when they do stories like this. Aaron's going to focus on the world of Star Wars from the perspective of the Stormtroopers.
Nice.
And I think that's going to be a very interesting tale. And also, I got giddy when I saw this on, page in the Marvel book. Hold on, sorry, got to find it. They're doing a omnibus collection, I just can't find it at the moment, of course, of Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, which is the classic 70s black and white magazine. Murd and I referenced we did our Shang-Chi and Iron Fist and Luke Cage spotlight. And there it is on page 89. They're collecting the entire series of Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. If you love Marvel black and white magazines or want to get into them, Iron Fist, Shang-Chi, art by Rudy Nebres, Perez, Starlin, Paul Galassi, covers by Neil Adams. If you want a snapshot of just vintage 70s comics, this is the collection to get.
Over 1,100 pages. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's $125. I'm sure it'll be half off or close to it at DCB service.
It's a new Marvel hardcover. It's half off.
Yep, so that's a fun selection. I also wanted to point out, Shane, this is for you, actually, in the T-shirt section.
T-shirts.
All right, let me turn to page 506. Shane, tell me when you're there.
I am there. Oh, nice.
There's a great Booster Gold shirt.
There sure is.
Ash Heather design or tone. Shane, I thought of you immediately.
That is great. I missed that on
That's
my
the
peruse.
covered issue 1, I believe.
Yeah, it might be.
And I mean, I'm sure there's been other Booster Gold shirts, but I can't recall seeing one in previews. And
Not many like that.
yeah, heaven knows how long. So
Nice.
I thought of you immediately, Shane. And then on page 190 and 191 in the IDW section, get ready, pants. Mm-hmm. You've got
Oh, yes.
the Sienkiewicz Marvel Artist Select Series. We just auctioned off a George Perez one at the store. This goes into his New Mutants stories and X-Men Unlimited 43, 999 copies. These books are tremendous, the artist editions. And then on the next page, Kirby's Commandy, The Last Boy on Earth, Volume 2 Artist Edition. So, again, because none of us can afford much of this art, especially art of artists like this. So these are great collections to get if you really want to absorb the original art as much as you can without actually owning the actual pages. These are scanned pages for these collections. Yeah. So they're if you're a fan of original art, I mean they're expensive, but they're well worth it. I'm sure Pants would agree with that. The other thing I wanted to point out before I leave, and Murd, I thought of you here. On page 266, the new Aftershock imprint, Captain Kidd #1, written by Mark Waid and Tom Pyre.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Those two names alone, it didn't even matter what it said on the rest of the page as soon as I saw that. But it's kind of like a reverse Captain Marvel, though, the concept. An older man who's able to turn himself into a teenage superhero at will.
Nice.
Art by Wilfredo Torres. Again, it's Waid. Pyre did Our Man, right? Tom Pyre, right?
Did he?
Who wrote Our Man?
Our Man, yes. He did.
The Android Our Man, right?
Yeah.
He wrote that.
I thought you said Iron Man at first, but yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. That's where I know that name from.
Yeah, because I knew, Shane, you're a big fan of the Our Man series.
Absolutely.
Me too.
I knew you were as well, Adam, so I thought that'd be something worth noting. Mm-hmm. And I must depart, gentlemen. I apologize, but as Shane can commiserate, I have to go pick up my kids.
I understand completely.
Oh, yeah.
So, as always, it's a profound honor. And I now leave the safe haven that is CGS, and I will now push off into the tumultuous seas of the wider world. So,
Godspeed, my friend. Godspeed.
Gentlemen, indeed, and I'll be in touch with emails as we schedule our future recordings.
Okie dokie.
So, good night, all. Farewell.
Good night.
Good night, Chris.
Good night.
Via Con Rios.
Page 156. I'm not big on statues because I can't ever buy any of them.
Uh-huh.
But I really like this black and white Robin by Frank Whiteley.
Limited edition of
5,200.
No accident, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, they think they're so clever.
Last thing I have for DC is under Vertigo, page 142. It's in Astro City number 37. It's Shane. It's the equivalent of a Times Past issue of Astro City. It's sent back at the turn of the 20th century, before Astro City was Astro City. history revealed, secrets exposed, that kind of thing.
Very cool.
With the very Vertigo-like Broken Man character right there on the cover.
Broken Man.
Gosh.
That just went in my head. It's from some commercial.
Trojan Man.
That's a Trojan Man.
Oh, my God.
I can't remember what this from.
Right.
All right.
Oh.
IDW.
IDW.
Page 158. Boom, right away. ROM, number 1.
Is that one of the things you picked up at Golden Eagle? These number zero issue?
That is the other one I picked up. Thank you. That is the other one I picked up. The Eros issue. The zero issue. Whew.
It's a gem of the month. Christos Gage and Chris Ryle are writing it. Hefty $4.99 cover price, but it is half off to DCBS.
It's 40 pages.
Well, I mean,
It is a little longer than average.
Yeah.
Right, the main copy.
There was a time when IDW was known as the expensive company.
That's true.
That's true,
All
yeah.
the books for
correct.
$3.99 before that was common practice.
And then you have page 160 and 161 is all Transformer stuff, which is awesome. But you turn the page to 162 and you have Action Man number 2, more Transformers, and Micronauts number 4. That's a pretty good run of stuff there. Even the subscription variant on page 163 is of the old Micronauts toys. Awesome. Then you flip the page and more good old-fashioned goodiness with G.I. Joe stuff, and Ghostbusters, and Godzilla, and then a whole Star Trek slew.
Yep. And this appears to be ROM cover month, so there are a lot of variant covers featuring ROM on the cover of books that have nothing to do with ROM. There's ROM with Chris Pine's Captain Kirk.
Yep. Then the Turtle stuff. Oh, there's a great ROM cover with Gem and the Holograms number 17. That's hilarious. And one with Back to the Future. He's flying in front of the DeLorean. That's funny.
Let's see, page 183. We've got a new Powerpuff Girls series coming out.
Yeah, and I didn't know that they're back on the Cartoon Network. I mean,
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
About a month ago, yeah.
Yep.
'Cause I loved that show when it was on.
The Powerpuff Girls were born. I have their theme song on my iPod.
The
I'm just
City
saying.
of Townsville. Yeah, it's a different theme song for this one, by the way.
I was bummed by that.
Yeah, I actually like the new show. I think that in a lot of ways it's actually better than the original.
I actually didn't get to watch it. I just knew it was
Animation's a bit of an
Now I
improvement.
got to seek it out because I loved that.
Yep, the girls have grown up a little bit. They're not in kindergarten anymore. They're at Pokey Oaks grade school now.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, so it's a little bit more sophisticated. Not too much more, though, just a little.
Okay.
And so this series from IDW is actually written by some of the writers of the show. One of them is actually a voice actress on the show, I see. She does the voice of the princess.
Nice. Page 184, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, ROM Space Knight cover. God, they are quite clever.
I might actually buy that cover, actually. Oh, My Little Pony Friends Forever, number 30, also has a ROM cover.
Looks like more like a dragon there. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I guess you wrap them in tinfoil. A dragon and a unicorn don't look that different.
No. He just looks dragonish.
Page 188, I see we've got another issue of Weird Love, the 13th in that Craig Yo edited series.
Weird Love.
Reprinting bizarre romance comics of decades past.
Underwater Welder hardcover on page 192.
Chef Lemire.
That would be worth it.
You don't have that already?
I had the trade. I read it, and I sold it. I might get the hardback.
Oh, okay.
Because I only had a trade, and I wanted a hardback.
All right, on to Image Comics
On
next?
to Image.
All right.
Snot Girl, that's a little gross.
Yeah.
It's just a title. I mean, it is a descriptive title. It's about a fashion blogger who has bad allergies, and the tension between her online image and the reality of her mucus-soaked life. It's by Brian Lee O'Malley of Scott Pilgrim.
Yep.
Right, so this is, if that was for the video game generation, this is something for the social media generation, I guess. I got to say, much as I enjoyed Scott Pilgrim, there were times reading that I felt terribly old, and I can only imagine how old this is going to make me.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
it looks like quality work. The art is by Leslie Hung, and it looks good. I just don't think it's going to be for me. This seems somewhat interesting. Page 204, a new series called Mechanism, written and drawn by Raffaele Ienco. And it's about a military robot that is forced into the role of protector of a group of survivors in the wake of a massive world war. There are alien invaders involved. The alien invaders, yeah. And so it's about this robot struggling to understand the human beings it is now obliged to protect. Page 208, Spawn kills everyone. Enough said. One shot, apparently. Page 210, Chew, at issue number 56, is beginning its final story arc.
Wow.
Counting down, only 5 issues to go. That's the tale of a detective who has a sort of psychic ability to read the history of anything that he eats. So he has a psychic. If he wants to solve a murder, he has to eat a little piece of the body of the victim. It's a little like iZombie on the CW that way.
Yeah. 227, Paper Girls number 7. I've got to get the first volume of that.
Yes, you do. Good stuff.
It is highly and widely praised. I see they're offering an Odyssey adult coloring and activity book.
Oh.
You thought your Doctor Who coloring book was trippy.
Yeah, there you go. That would be trippy. Holy smokes.
That's on page 239. On page 243, the second volume of Starve is being offered on in trade. That's Brian Wood's take on competitive cooking shows.
That's all I have in Image.
All right. I guess Marvel's up next?
Marvel.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of Civil War II tie-ins and stuff.
Right, which is exactly why we didn't have a Marvel off the rack this month.
Yeah.
I will say I like these variant covers by Michael Cho, though.
Oh, yes.
Me too.
But yeah, just so many. I mean, the first, several pages all about the crossovers and everything.
That's the only thing that kills me, and I really don't want to sound negative with this, but it does kill me that when Marvel has an event, boy, oh boy, are there a lot of tie-ins across individual series, mini-series. It's crazy the amount of tie-ins. Mm-hmm. Like, it really is an epic event every time. I like the way that Power Man and Iron Fist number 6 looks, too.
On page 19.
Hey, look at that. It did have a page number. Nice.
Yeah, they're getting a little better about that.
I wish they would just get really good and put it on every page. Even every other page, I'll take. I'm not picky.
I think they're actually coming.
Oh, look at that. They are
too soon.
See, you blew it.
As soon as we got out of the Civil War II section, I decided to stop
Son
bothering.
of a gun. I got excited for a minute. Captain America Steve Rogers comes with number 3 and fights Zemo. The Red Skull versus Zemo with Captain America caught in the crossfire.
Back on page 32, Deadpool and the Mercs for Money get their own series written by Cullen Bunn. It's an interesting team. Deadpool teamed up with Slapstick, Stingray, and a few other refugees from the 90s. I think we've got Solo, Terror Inc., Paladin. Characters you don't see that often these days.
On page 40 is Scarlet Witch 8, which I have to catch up on and read. I so want to read that one. And Tom King's The Vision number 9.
You been reading The Vision, Shane?
No, I haven't. I have the first few issues, and then I wanted to wait for the hardback to come out, which it will with everything in it all at one shot.
Right. It's because it is only going to be 12 issues.
Yeah.
Well, I have the first 6 issues, and as record this, issue 7 comes out tomorrow. It's worth the issues. Tom does the letters column.
Oh, son of a...
Which probably will not be included in the collected edition.
Most likely not, but that is such a class move.
It is, and it's funny, and it's... Did I mention it's funny, and it's
now
Tom's.
You're killing me.
And there's also several podcaster Easter eggs throughout the Vision.
Son of a gun.
Throwing a little love our way?
To Peter.
Peter.
That counts. Yeah, I guess if you're not in the mood to talk too much about Civil War II, there's really not that much.
It's hard.
Well, I'm going to mention
Here we go.
on page 52.
Where else?
Look at that.
Silver Surfer number 6, which actually is his 200th issue, an oversized anniversary issue.
That'd be worth it.
Very much enjoying. I know I don't know why they had to renumber it again, but still,
I don't either.
The combination of the writing, the art, and the characterization, and the interplay between Nora and Brad and Dawn Greenwood, it's fun. I know Danny's mentioned it's like a Doctor Who type thing. Maybe that's why I'm drawn to it. It's really good, and it's one of the few Marvel ongoing books that I'm getting and always comes to the top of my pile.
On page 60 is Doctor Strange number 10. When I was gallivanting around this part of the state with a soccer tournament this weekend, I took along the hardback of Doctor Strange and read through that as well as the Wonder Woman thing.
Okay.
And that was quite enjoyable. I really like this book. Very excited for not only the Doctor Strange movie to come out later with Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, but that first, I guess, 5 or 6 issues maybe, was just phenomenal to read through. Good stuff there, too. When I was at Golden Eagle for Free Comic Book Day, somebody came in looking for issues of Haunted Mansion, which number 5 of 5 is on page 77.
Yeah. This goes to show you there's a fan for every property.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Page 79 has the second of 5 issues for the Force Awakens adaptation. Love, like Chris had mentioned, Star Wars 21, I love the way that art looks, even though it says not final art.
Oh, it's David Aja. That's...
Page 81 has Poe Dameron 4. The next one's Darth Vader 23. That's an outstanding book still. Then Han Solo number 2 of 5. All good stuff.
Which brings us into collections, trades, hardcovers, the like.
And, of course, all the new ones are they're all half off cover price, yeah.
DCBService.com. Page 88, we've got a hardcover collecting the first 8 issues, plus some extra bonus material, of the volume 2015A, the first of 2 ongoing series featuring the unbeatable Squirrel Girl to be published in that year. So this is stuff by Ryan North and others. Erica Henderson is artist, but it also collects some of the Dan Slott Great Lakes Avengers stuff that Squirrel Girl was in, and it has Squirrel Girl's first appearance from back in 1990, written by Will Murray, who was actually a guest on Matt's Comics With or Without Pulp podcast. Not long, a little while ago, and art by Steve Ditko.
Yes, her dazzling Ditko drawn debut, to use alliteration as we love to do here.
Yes, we certainly do. As more people should.
Exactly.
Great.
Excelsior. That's ease, pants. Never mind.
Page 94.
Counts.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be consonants.
But consonants were fun.
Well, I suppose so. They're more fricative.
Fricative.
What does fricative mean?
It means having more of a concussive sound to them.
Fricatively concussive.
I know you don't like it, but I am continually amazed by your vocabulary. I know it's...
When you were younger, did you just sit and read a dictionary at times?
Well, I studied for spelling bees in junior high,
right,
so
well,
that made an impression.
That makes sense.
Did you get very far?
I made it to the national level twice.
Nice.
Really? Mm-hmm. How the hell did I not know this about you?
Yeah, it was in all the papers.
That's my line!
It's literally true. The Reading Eagle did a write-up of every winner from every district, and I won the county 2 times.
Very cool.
Wow.
But I guess that just wasn't the beat you were following.
No. Well, I'm, 10 years older than you are, basically?
Almost exactly, yeah.
Well, no. You were born, I
was born at the beginning of 79, and you were born at the end of 69. So
you youngsters, they don't pay you no mind.
And the kids these days get much easier words than I had in those days, I'll tell you what.
Them mooks. Page 94. Pretty clever way to bring in all the Star Wars miniseries into one volume. Star Wars Heroes for a New Hope has the Princess Leia, Lando, and Chewbacca miniseries.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
$50, half off, $25.
$25 for 3.
It's not bad.
That's pretty interesting.
I haven't read the Lando and Chewie ones yet, but the Princess Leia one was great. I thought it was great. Silver Surfer Volume 4 on page 98. Still have to get Volume 1.
Go for it. There's more Mercs for Money on page 99. Oh, and actually on page 97, you've got Spider-Man Deadpool Volume 1, Isn't It Bromantic, featuring Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness.
Isn't it romantic?
Classic Deadpool creative team there. Enjoyable stuff.
Page 106 and 107 has a bunch of Spider-Man and Avengers Epic collections. And then Thor on 110 and Machine Man trade on 111.
Yeah, that Machine Man trade is very interesting to me.
Kirby and Ditko, nice.
And for fans of Marvel supervillains, Jack-O-Lantern actually first appears in one of the issues of Machine Man collected here. You ever wondered where the guy who became the second Hobgoblin came from? He came from Machine Man.
Wow. Page 117. Check out those Marvel posters. 2 Alex Ross posters, 2 Michael Cho posters.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The Michael Cho Daredevil and Doctor Strange. The Alex Ross Doctor Strange. And Mary Jane is like Iron Spider. This is gorgeous stuff. I've seen a lot of Alex Ross art in the covers for these issues. It's great to look at. Oh my goodness.
It sure is.
For Chris's sake, on page 114, there is another volume of the Black Panther by Christopher Priest, the complete collection.
Yes.
The fourth and, I believe, final trade, because it takes us up to issue 62 of the early 2000 series, and also all 7 issues of the short-lived The Crew, which involved James Rhodes and a couple of other supporting characters with the Black Panther.
Very cool.
And on page 115, we've got a second volume of Korean Avengers comics, Manhwa, Avengers K, The Advent of Ultron.
Starbrand from the New Universe, Volume 2. Wow.
It's on page 116.
That is page 116. That's going back in the day, boy.
And that is the very last trade in the book.
All right. So are we on to the rest of the book?
Yep. The heavy back.
Rest.
All right.
If you've never done it, and we've all done it, and you should do it, page 257 is soliciting the Strangers in Paradise volumes. I want to sit down and start rereading those again.
Good stuff. And because Echo,
great stuff.
I'm sorry, not Echo. Rachel Rising is just about to end, and I'm not sure what Terry Moore is going to do next. But
yeah, I haven't heard any rumblings about what's next.
I can't thank Jamie enough for just
you're not kidding.
pushing that book so hard, Strangers in Paradise and Terry Moore, and
those episodes where we talk about all those books are still some of my favorite we have ever done.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy that so much, and then Echo and Rachel Rising. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I would have been into these books if it were not for Jamie.
No, I wouldn't have been. Absolutely not.
And I mean, it took him a while to wear me down.
Oh yeah,
but it's
sure
like
did.
Gotta trust him.
Yep. Action Lab on page 259 has Miraculous 1 and 2.
I have to laugh for Action Lab. When I was at the Wild Pig sale, there was some young boy, probably no more than 10, maybe like 8 or 9, was asking if they had issues of Zombie Tramp. I wonder if he found any. I don't know if they had any there at the sale.
Yeah, that definitely is part of the danger zone.
Yes, exactly.
Going with
Miraculous is more all ages. It kind of looks like a grown-up version of Disney Channel's PJ Masks.
Yeah.
Just at first glance.
Yeah. Going with Aftershock with Captain Kidd that Chris had recommended. The next page has Lifespanners with Tim Seeley and Gus Storms. Superpowered teenage girl wipes the heavily disputed old city of Jerusalem off the face of the earth. Wow.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. It's from the solicitation copy. It kind of seems like just a bunch of weird ideas Tim Seeley had and just kind of rolled into a ball and put in a comic.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it won't be entertaining stuff.
No. Next page has Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti in Super Zero Volume 1. That's cool. Page 277, up in American Mythology, has the 3rd issue of Pink Panther.
With the Inspector as opposed to the Aardvark and the Ant.
Yes. What's the assistant's name?
Dudu.
Dudu.
Remember from a while ago we had this discussion.
We did, and I forgot it already. Dudu. Do 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 do. I love the Pink Panther. I have. It's got to be at least.
The music is from A Shot in the Dark, right?
Oh, boy, maybe.
It's like a non Pink Panther Inspector Clouseau film.
The 4 or maybe 6 DVD disc set of nothing but Pink Panther cartoons. When the kids were younger, that was their go-to thing to watch every day. If we're like, hey, what do you want to watch on TV? Pink Panther! And there we sat for hours watching Pink Panther. Wow. The only thing wrong with that collection, no Aardvark and the Ant, no Inspector Clouseau. Oh. But I think we talked about this too, that there is an Inspector Clouseau one coming soon. But yeah, love all 3 of those cartoons. Ant! Hey, Ant!
I'm so glad you're exposing your kids to this stuff, because this is up my alley when I was that age.
Oh yeah, I mean when they were little, I exposed them to Flintstones, Jetsons, Hong Kong Phooey, Super Friends.
Phooey, yes.
Matt can still, if I go.
What about the Mighty Heroes?
I don't have a copy of that, but they have seen them. Hercules.
Hercules. Oh.
They've gotten Herculoids.
I'm sorry, we're
Thundar.
going on a tangent, but I love this. No, it's our show. It's our beans.
Matt can still. So when Matt was younger and I had to help him get a bath, of course, no kid wants to get in the bath. I would bribe him, and I've probably told this on the show before, with, hey, let's play a game, and I would hum cartoon and TV show theme songs that they were watching at that time. So even as time progressed, I kept doing theme songs because I was running out of the ones they knew. So Matt especially knows a plethora, I mean tons of theme songs to things that he's never even seen, but he knows the music. And every now and then to this day, he'll say, hey, Dad, sit outside the bathroom while I jump in the shower and let's play that game. And I'll start doing, all right, Matt, ba-da-da-ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum. And he's like, Batman, all right, or Flash, or Superman, and then he goes, I'm like, all right, bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 bum. He goes, DuckTales. Like he knows. And one thing that they knew, again, leading all back to this tangent, was he could sing the whole Hong Kong Phooey song because they watched that as much as they watched Pink Panther. They watched Hong Kong Phooey a lot.
You are a great father. My goodness.
I've got two great pictures that we recently refound. Not that they were ever lost, but looking through albums of different time periods, one with Ben when he was really little and one with Matt when he was really little, both me holding them while we watched Muppet Show DVDs.
Oh man.
Fabulous. Fabulous. And all of us, and I'm pretty sure the Ben one I posed for in that he sat in front of me with just staring at the TV in like crisscross with his legs and I did the same thing and I like, Carly, snap a picture. Just so we looked, but with Matt's it wasn't, and it was still pretty much the same pose. But, yeah, that's just a lot of fun seeing something like that. So yeah, I'm all on board for the Pink Panther comic on 277, which started that entire tangent.
Also from American Mythology on page 279, Werewolves versus Dinosaurs, #1. It's bizarre enough to be fun.
Womp, womp, womp. Womp, womp, ba-dum.
3 knuckleheads run for president, and you vote for the winner for the next month. Mo is their leader. Again, I'm just loving the Archie book. We talked about the
That's a heck of
Betty
a lot
and
of
Veronica.
covers.
Yeah, a lot of covers.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Volume 1.
From the writer of Afterlife with Archie, which really needs to make a comeback.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't come back for another round.
See, under Aspen Comics on page 295, they seem to be launching an initiative to tighten up their universe, as it were, establish it, using a series called Aspen Universe Revelations, co-written by Joshua Hale Fialkov and J.T. Krull.
Up on page, and I'm all the way up to Boom on 314, Adventure Time Comics #1, written and illustrated by Tony Millionaire, Katie Cook, and Art Balthazar.
Wow.
Yep, this is going to be an anthology series, and apparently it's just going to be different creators each time. So.
Nice.
But yeah, if I already have a bunch of Adventure Time comics at home, and these creators, I would give this a try.
Oh yeah,
almost regardless of what series or property it was about.
Page 318 has Jim Henson's The Storyteller Dragons hardcover. I don't think I got the last Storytellers.
Just to hop back to page 310 real quickly to point out that there's a King Kong miniseries. Kong of Skull Island, #1 of 6. A prequel story, it says. Telling the story of how humans first came to Skull Island.
All right, page 328.
Go for it,
and I'm
Shane.
sure you might have something to come back to, Murd, but 328.
Yeah, go for it.
Cartoon Books, Bone, Coda, 25th Anniversary Special Trade Paperback. A new story. Awesome.
A new story and a bunch of other stuff, too.
Awesome.
30% off, only $10.49.
I will tell my, not only will I get it and read it, but I'll tell my oldest about it because he read the entire volume twice already.
For for most of this year and the last several months before then, my DCBS order was hovering between $50 and $60, and that was like including bags and boards.
That's around mine as well.
This month, my order is, I didn't finish it because it's going to be over $125. All these trades, all the bundles.
I'm up into Dynamite, page 342 and 343, with the $6 Million Man, Fall of the Man, issue 1. And on the next page, a special advanced look at the interior of $6 Million. Okay. All right, so that's just a look. I like that cover that's on the blue line comic book page. Mm-hmm. That's neat looking. I just recently, and recently being the last couple months, I was upstairs cleaning up stuff to get rid of toy-wise from the kids that they don't play with anymore, that they're a little too old for, and some comic book trade stuff that I wanted to separate. And I wanted to put something on the computer, throw a DVD in to watch something I haven't ever watched that I may have watched years ago. And I put in the $6 Million Man first season DVDs I have and watched the original telemovie and the second telemovie, and then a bunch of episodes after that. I don't remember and didn't realize just how much Steve Austin did not really get along with Oscar.
Really?
At first, or at least that's the perception I get from it, that they weren't really on the same page at first. And Steve Austin was quite bitter about what had happened to him at first, a little bit. At least that's what I took away from it. It was interesting to watch. I don't remember watching the very first one ever. I don't know if it was ever on TV or not. I think it was. But that was a really interesting thing to watch, like a TV history kind of perspective from it. Because when that first one, when I was playing it, I kind of stopped and I watched more of it than doing what I was doing because I was so enamored with what they were doing, being the original first telemovie kind of thing to introduce this character. It was trippy for me.
I don't think I've watched that show since it was first on the air in the 70s. I was a member of the fan club. I had the action figures.
I had the dolls, the rocket. I had the arms that come off. I know I watched it in rerun.
It's one of those shows I'm afraid probably didn't age too well. So I'm afraid to watch it again for fear of my childhood is ruined.
But I can still watch an episode of that here and there just for fun.
All I can remember are the ones with Bigfoot on them. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Bigfoot!
Just like one of the channels, like a MeTV or an Antenna or something, runs Knight Rider. And one Saturday they had a, oh my God, what do you call it?
Marathon.
Thank you. Jeez.
You're welcome.
A marathon, and most of them involved Kit, Car, Goliath, which I love those episodes. And I know they don't hold up, but I still recorded them to watch. I'm sorry, tangents of good stuff.
It's all good.
That's listeners eat that stuff up as much as they do blather about the actual things offered for sale in the catalog.
God, the amount of useless trivia in my head and things that I've watched over and over is astounding.
Well, yeah, I'm interested. I've never even seen The $6 Million Man, but I'm interested in this miniseries.
God, I still, somewhere in my room, somewhere in a box, I still have
word again.
Oscar Goldman's
the briefcase
that explodes.
No!
I don't think I have the file that goes inside, but I still got the and
man, but just rolling up his Steve Austin's sleeve with the skin, you take out his
pull out the chip, or you could move his hand on another one with a flashlight popping out. You could look through his head to get a little magnified eye.
Ready to say in unison, Shane? We're old.
Yeah, we are old. Yep.
You let me down, by the way. You let me hang in there.
The rocket ship that turns into an operating table. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Dynamite's also offering a Lone Ranger and Green Hornet miniseries.
I'm interested in that.
Really?
I am very interested in that.
Written by Michael Uslan.
Really?
Sort of the Batman film impresario. Also knows a few things about Archie, and here he is writing a Green Hornet and Lone Ranger team-up comic. That's something Matt might want to at least look at.
Yeah.
But between that and the $6 Million Man, I'm not sure why Dynamite decided to lead off with Brickleberry. It's a miniseries based on the Comedy Central animated series about incompetent park rangers, featuring a talking bear cub voiced by Daniel Tosh of Tosh.0. Not a very good show. And I don't think anybody's really clamoring for a comic based on it, but there it is.
Hey, Ranger Smith, do you want a picnic basket?
Yeah, the talking bear doesn't have that kind of a relationship with them.
I know. But I went with Yogi Bear.
It's a better made
Yogi.
cartoon show anyway. It's a better made cartoon show anyway.
Gee, Yogi, what do you think of Ranger Smith?
Ranger Smith's not going to like this, Yogi. I'm amazed at how good a boo-boo voice Justin Timberlake was able to do.
I know! That blew me away when I found out it was him doing that voice. And I did watch the whole damn movie, and it was okay. But yeah, when I found out that was Justin Timberlake, I nearly fell off the chair. Everybody else I could hear and see, and it's great that the Flash's villain is Ranger Smith, and that's great. But man, Justin Timberlake, that absolutely blew me away. Hey, yeah, boo-boo, put out the fire.
Here on page... Oh, it's a few different pages, actually. It's from Graphic India. Page 376 and also 378, 379, and 380. They're putting a lot of ink into this, but Avatar X, Destroyer of Darkness. It's written by Grant Morrison, art by Jivan Kang, and it's about a godlike being who shows up on Earth to participate in the... I'm trying to remember what they Kali Yuga is what they call it in the Hindu tradition. It's the great year of the apocalypse. He's here to participate in a Ragnarok scale war to end the world, but he shows up a bit early. And so the series is about what he has to do now to how he can coexist with a world full of frail human beings who aren't ready to be wiped out apocalyptically yet. What he does to kill time until the apocalypse he's there to perpetrate actually takes place. All of it borrowing heavily from Hindu mythology, as most things that come out through Graphic India tend to do.
Hermes Press on page 383 has the complete Jim Aparo Charlton Phantom hardcover. That's interesting.
Page 387, Joe Books is continuing to produce some more Disney content.
Darkwing.
They brought that back. Same creative team as was at Boom a little while ago. They're up to issue number 4 on page 386, but on 387 there is now a Frozen series.
Let it go. Let it go.
That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm just mentioning it as a public service. Also the second issue of a Finding Dory series.
The movie is still coming out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just haven't seen a whole lot about it yet.
We got the toys and stuff in the store for it.
Okay. All right.
I've seen a preview that uses Have You Seen Her by the Chi-Lites.
Page 394 under Lion Force has Voltron, Legendary Defender, probably to coincide with, is it on Netflix or Amazon? I want to say Netflix, a new Voltron cartoon.
Oh, wow, there's a graphic novel of Saved by the Bell comics.
Oh my gosh, where is that? Right above that.
Right above Voltron.
I had no idea there was even a comic book. That's insane.
Oh, shoot. China Clugston Flores of Blue Monday.
Wow.
Provided the artwork. I respect her as a creator, but I have so little respect for Saved by the Bell as a program.
You know what, though? I may actually have to pick that up at some point. I watched every freaking episode right through the college years. There was...
Really?
Yes, I did. The TV show Mad About You.
Yes.
I love that show. There's a couple episodes where they flash back to... before they got married, like the whole wedding planning stage. And at some point, Paul and, Fran's husband in the show, come across Saved by the Bell on TV, and they joke about how it's so addicting, even though it's so silly to watch, they still sit down to watch it.
I hate that show so much.
I'm sure you do.
It's not even for any... It's not because of the show itself or its content, its level of quality. It's just the fact that it killed cartoons on NBC's Saturday mornings.
It did do a pretty good job.
I'll never forgive you for that. Oh, and also on the bottom of page 394 from Lion Forge, Miami Vice. Written by Joe Casey, art by Jim Mahfood. I think these two things came out from IDW a while ago, and now they've landed at Lion Forge.
Yeah, that sounds right. I know we've seen the Miami Vice remix before.
That's a heck of a creative team, though.
Yeah. That's rerun somewhere, too. I was watching a couple episodes of that the other week.
Oh, yes.
I found... Oh, my God. I found that it was on, and I... Oh, great, Miami Vice. I'll sit down and watch an episode. They were in New York for the episode. Son of a gun. I just laughed at myself with it. Granny's like, you watching Miami Vice? Yeah! And, oh, crap, they're in New York.
A couple interesting things from Oni. We've got a Rick and Morty spin-off based on the Adult Swim series. It's Rick and Morty Lil Poopy Superstar, featuring the further adventures of a one-shot character from one second season episode of the show, Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Oh, boy.
Say no more. Then on page 404, offered at the special introductory price of $1.99. Come to think of it, that Grant Morrison thing I mentioned a little while ago was also $1.99. Brick #1, written by Adam Glass, who's also giving us Rough Riders from Aftershock. It's a New York golem story. It's like the figure from Hebrew legend, the artificial man that guards and protects the Jewish people. I'm a sucker for a good golem story. Remember that one Breath of Bones that Dave Wachter drew for Dark Horse a while ago?
Yep.
I will probably give this one a try. Brick.
Now, Pants, up in the Titan section, you
Yes.
still getting the Doctor Who stuff?
Yes, I am.
Are you getting the Torchwood?
I am going to try the Torchwood, yes, because it's written by John Barrowman and his sister.
Oh, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. Nice.
And, of course, there's a Doctor Who special event, the anniversary of the Cybermen, called Supremacy of the Cybermen. It's a 5-part story. There's a Doctor Who Comics Day, July 9th.
Wow.
Again, I'm not crazy about all the covers I got to choose from to just get one I want to read.
Boy, you're not kidding. Holy
But
cow.
there are some great covers there, and yes.
Batman, a celebration of the classic TV series. Is that
Page
solicited every
443.
month?
Yeah, well, re-solicited from, wow. Yeah, a while back, it seems, yes. Oh, good catch there, Shane.
I mean, hey, that's probably an awesome book. I should probably get it. I have a couple Batman TV show history books as it is. But still.
Tokyo Pop is offering some Disney-related manga. There's a Disney Princess manga, there's Finding Nemo manga, and manga based on the Tim Burton-directed Alice in Wonderland movies.
The kids want to go see that.
Oh, the Through the Looking Glass one that's
Yeah.
coming out.
Not that I'm not going to watch it, but I didn't go see the first one in the theater. I did watch it when it was on, and yeah, it was interesting visually, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But for them to say, man, I really want to go see that, I'm like, really?
Yeah. It's not
Okay.
authentically Carolian enough for me, but I'm glad your kids are interested.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that.
Oh, something cool coming out from Tomorrow's. Page 448, the MLJ Companion in hardcover yet. This is something I didn't even know they were working on over there. It's the history of Archie Comics superhero characters, from the Golden Age through the Silver Age of the Mighty Crusaders, right on up through the recent Dark Circle stuff at Archie.
Back issue, page 91, is an all jerks issue. Starring Green Lantern that you love to hate, Guy Gardner. Nice. That's an awesome cover.
Bronze Age Namor when he was in Supervillain Team Up, J. Jonah Jameson, Flash Thompson, DC's biggest blowhard, so Guy's got to be in that group too. The Heckler, Keith Gibbons the Heckler. I love that series. Obnoxio the Clown and Reggie Mantle.
That's great.
With Kevin McGuire one-punch cover.
You got that right.
You
man.
ordering that one, Shane?
Oh, I get every issue of Back Issue. Absolutely every one. 4001 AD. I believe issue 1 should be coming soon to me. I think it's already out there. I think I saw it in my next shipment list.
That's right. This is this summer's Valiant big event. And yeah, I think we're going to be doing the first issue of that as an off-the-rack.
I think that's correct.
And, of course, they're leading their section of the catalog, Valiant is, with Faith #1, which, as we've already said, is going to be our off-the-rack, or one of our off-the-racks for this month.
And the trade of the 4-issue miniseries, it's 35% off the $9.99 cover price. You can get it
not
for only
bad either.
$6. So I'm going to order that.
I think I will, too.
Yeah, since we're doing the first ongoing series, I want to read the...
Yeah, what preempted it.
And then you can see that I think it's on the next page. The Armstrong #5. They say it's a great jumping on point. Of course, Rafer Roberts writing, art by Mike Norton.
Mike Norton. I missed that part.
I did too.
And I saw that and said, okay, we're doing Faith. Get the trade, why not? And this is they say it's a good jumping on point, and Rafer Roberts writing it, and Mark Norton, yeah, that's another no-brainer.
Yeah, Faith, it's come highly recommended to us by both Danny and Julie.
Yes.
It's getting a lot of positive buzz from throughout comicdom. I think we need to pay more attention to Faith.
Yep.
Page 485, The Art of Jim Davis hardcover. There's a regular edition and a limited sign edition. I used to love Garfield.
Oh, absolutely.
I had tons of those little...
the trades?
Yeah, those little half-size trades.
Yep.
Longer than they were high.
Yep.
Got those at school book fairs all the
Drove
time.
me nuts because they didn't fit on my bookshelf right. On page 486, Frank Miller's Daredevil and the Ends of Heroism softcover. Interesting.
We're now in the books.
We're in the books. Graphic Audio has a Daredevil, a Deadpool, a Civil War, and a Ms. Marvel Volume 2. I got to get back into getting some of those. The next page has DC Superhero Girls Supergirl at Superhero High hardcover. A Grumpy Cat Little Golden book. That's actually kind of cute.
Page 491, we've got a collection of Neil Gaiman nonfiction short stories / essays. View from the Cheap Seats, selected nonfiction.
Page 489 has not one, but both Doctor Who coloring books. The one on the bottom is the one that I got, which I'm excited about.
Yes. He is really ginchy.
Page 492. Oh my God, Jamie would have loved this. Star Trek Red Shirt's Little Book of Doom.
Yes,
That's a riot.
that is Jamie's sense of humor.
On page 493, it looks like another, I don't know if it's the second, it's got to be the second, Star Wars Aftermath novel, Life Debt hardcover. I didn't even know that was coming out yet. Little golden books of I Am a Sith. That's funny. I Am a Princess. Oh, boy, that's awesome. Page 515, let's see, number 7. DC Heroes, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle Mighty Wallet. That's awesome. Oh, boy, would I never use that, but boy, that's an awesome thing.
I love your honesty. Oh, I would never use that, but oh, isn't that awesome?
That might be something that would sit really nicely on my shelf. I don't know if I could bring myself to order that just now. But wow, that's funny.
So you're still going in the back of the book, the back of the book now?
I am just a little bit because they've got some interesting toys. There's Ghostbusters Movie Select Action Figures Assortment 3, which looks like there's Jean and Ray and Slimer and more to make up the top of the building scene at the end of the movie.
Love the maquette of Spock about to mind meld with the Horta.
Yeah.
That look of pain on his face on page 531.
Superman versus Batman, SWAT plush weapons, a shield, a batarang, and a sword. That might be kind of fun.
Opposite page, page 536, Justice League nesting dolls. Not authentically Russian, like the kinds you can buy at Murdo's Christmas shop. But
546, how would you say that? Dorby's Rides? Dorbs?
As in, it's adorable. Okay. It's a Dorbs.
Dorbs. Mystery Machine vinyl figure with Fred. 549, a whole bunch of pop Marvel figures. Falcon, Doc Ock, Doctor Strange, She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, Spider-Gwen.
That's Captain Marvel, isn't
Captain Marvel? Is that Captain Marvel?
I think so.
Yeah, that's her Captain Marvel costume.
And Punisher.
Yeah, it says Nemesis Punisher, whatever that means.
To the left of that, a Giant Man 6-inch version. That's funny. 550 has Hogwarts train pop figures. That's a riot. Ooh, a Wonder Woman and Invisible Jet. Page 551.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
That's desk worthy.
You all done?
Yes.
I usually make short work of the back of the book. So there we go.
All right. Well, that was a long one because, thank you for bearing with us at the beginning for our recaps of Free Comic Book Day and our CGS Mailbag.
But we gave them something special with all that cartoon talk in the middle that nobody cared about in the middle of previews.
Lots of bonus content in here.
All right. And just to recap our selections for Off the Racks, from DC, it's Batgirl and the Birds of Prey Rebirth #1. From Archie Comics, it's Betty and Veronica #1. And from Valiant, it's the Faith #1 ongoing. And actually, all of them come out on Wednesday, July 20th, the first day of Comic-Con.
Wow.
Nice grouping.
And I will be at Comic-Con. I don't know.
I will not be at
No, I
Comic
mean,
Con.
I will be out there. I've got my hotel now. I just got to figure out how I'm going to get out there with the plane. But that's an easy.
I'm thinking you're going to board it and
Well,
fly.
no, I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to stay. Whether I'm going to stay later. You know.
I mean, you could try and lasso it from the ground and hang on the tail, but I think they'd frown upon that.
Why do we even bother sometimes? But anyway.
Yeehaw!
All right, and as always, these previews episodes are brought to you by Discount Comic Book Service. Go to dcbservice.com for all your pre-ordering needs.
Visit us at comicgeekspeak.com. To send an email, the address is comicgeekspeak@gmail.com. To leave a voicemail, the number is 267-702-6642. Stop by thecomicforums.vanillaforums.com. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Thanks to everyone who listens and sends us goodies. It's not necessary, but we certainly do appreciate it. I'm going to have a boatload of fun coloring in this Doctor Who coloring book. I'll have to take some pictures and post them when I do.
Oh, you must.
And as always, we are uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time.
Uniting the world's mightiest heroes. This is Comic Geek Speak.
All right, well, if you're still with us, here is the Brian Deemer chat that I spoke of at the beginning of the episode. He and I spoke about a week and a half before we recorded this previous episode. He wanted to talk about, he had some questions on the DC Rebirth. So we talked about that, as well as sort of what we're currently reading, and a little bit about some Marvel talk. So no spoilers, but it's about 17 minutes, so I didn't know where else to put it in the episode. So I put it towards the end, so here you go.
Well, I got my, the DC previews, the special catalog thing came in this week's shipment,
Right.
like a month late, because it only came out halfway through the month because they were keeping everything secret or whatever.
Right. They had the big announcements at the WonderCon at the end of March, so they couldn't. They didn't want to surprise and putting it in print before they had the announcements.
Exactly. So anyway, I knew that something was coming, but I wasn't paying attention to the internet or anything, and then I got the preview. Yeah, I mean, actually on my Facebook feed, there is not a lot of comic talk on it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just doesn't. It doesn't come across a lot. So
You gotta get new friends.
Huh?
Gotta get new friends.
Well, I saw that there was some hullabaloo, and I saw Jamal talking about some things, but I didn't read it because I was like, you know what, I want to get this previews thing, and I want to look through it myself, and I want to sort of think about it my own way before I am tainted by the voices of millions, right, on the internet. So I got this, and all right, so I know that you guys, I'm sure, have talked about this at probably ad nauseum or whatever, but...
Oh, you're not listening to the show? What's the matter with you?
Oh, I don't have time.
Don't have time?
I listen to audiobooks in the car, not podcasts anymore. So,
you wounded me deeply, sir.
I know. I do listen once in a while, depending on the topic. But
okay.
Anyway, so bear with me as I probably go over some stuff that you guys have already talked about, and but I figured you of all the guys on the show, you're, or at least you used to be, a big DC guy, and so I figure you have some insight into this as I want some questions, right? So is the deal that they realized that the new 52 was like kind of a big mess up, maybe if not from a story point of view, at the very least from a fan relationship point of view, or maybe both or whatever, and so now they're sort of eating crow and starting over again? Is that the high-level thing, or...?
Well, I mean, there's some truth in what you say. I don't have exact quotes in front of me, but I believe Jeff Johns, Jim Lee, and Dana Dio in some way said, hey, we know that I think legacy was the big thing missing from the new 52. You had this whole history of DC with, second and third generation heroes, and with the post-Flashpoint going into the new 52, you had pretty much starting over, and there wasn't much background to go from, is what I think they were saying. They realized that this has me intrigued with the new Rebirth. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, so that was very much my thoughts on it too. So I mean, I was at a time shortly before 52, your favorite series launched.
Yes, right. But
I was reading more DC than Marvel. I mean, I was loving a lot of their books.
That does seem to ring a bell. But what are some of the things you were reading back then? I can't remember.
I was reading Titans. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. JLA, JSA, whatever iterations of those that were out, right? And Flash and a variety of other things. I was just loving it, right? They were on fire, right. I thought. And then 52 shook everything up. And then all the books that I wanted to read were all, like, the stories were all different, and so then it made it really easy to just drop away and quit. It didn't necessarily mean that the stories were bad. It was just not what I had been reading for several years and wasn't the storylines that I was attached to. And then, of course, we started the show, you know, and then we were exposed to all these new comics that we had talked about, so then it became real easy to jump onto other books and let DC sort of go by the wayside. And then I never really got back on board. I dabbled here and there, and nothing really ever grabbed me the way that those pre-52 titles had me absorbed, right? So, and now it's been a long enough time period that I haven't read a lot of DC that I'm sort of like, I kind of want to go back to some of those characters. I want to know what's going on with some of these people, right? I do care about the characters. I just didn't care for the stories that were being told or whatever, right? So, of course, as comic fans, we're suckers for new jumping on points, right?
Right.
The longest soap operas in the world continue to turn, but we need an excuse to jump back in instead of just figuring it out, right? So now let me see if I get this right. Okay, there's going to be a book called Rebirth #1.
Well,
it's going to come out.
It's going to be called. Let me get the exact title here. DC Universe Rebirth #1. Correct. Coming out May 25th.
Okay, so that's where it all starts.
Correct.
And then additional titles will be coming online. Now, is this replacing all of the current stuff? Is like every DC book stopping?
Most of them are. I wish I knew there were some that are not, but most of your main DC titles, again, but like I said, I've been out of it for a couple of years myself, so I'm going on just what I've been reading and being told. That, yeah, a lot of them are starting over.
This is what's killing me, right? Is I'm holding this book in my hand, I'm reading the hype, and I'm saying, all right, I haven't bought a DC comic other than the Scott Snyder Batman, right, in years, and I'm thinking about, you know, picking up 3, 4, maybe even 5 titles, like, all right, let me get into DC. And then I look at it and go, now shipping twice monthly, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like, what am I going to do? Now, am I going to pick 2 titles to read? I'd rather read 4 titles, but I can't afford to buy 8 books a month. So now they had a chance to pull me in, and they're already like throwing up the stop sign, going, "Well, maybe you want to think about that before you commit, right?" Because I see that John Romita Jr. is going to be John All-Star Batman, but that one's one of the later launches, like a September or October title or something, right? Or August or something. So obviously, I want to read that, because John Romita Jr. drawn Batman, which is really cool. I'd like to read Titans, and I love Flash. So I'm like, maybe those 3 titles, you know? Maybe you get the regular Batman title, too, just because it's Batman. I don't know. But if they're shipping twice a month, what are your thoughts on the twice?
Well, again, I didn't necessarily look at the new previews yet, which has all of those twice monthly books listed. I did look through the original solicit, and DCBS, bless their heart, for the first round had 60% off cover price. I think 22 books. So it came to like, I think $1.20 a book. It's like, okay, you got me I will try it. So I jumped on with that. I haven't thought too far ahead about what books to pick and choose. Like you, there are some I want to read, some, probably not. With Batman with Tom King, well, yeah, I think I'm going to give that a shot. Detective Comics sounded interesting because it has Batwoman in it, and Batman sort of having like a little school with some of the other heroes. I don't know what's going on with The Flash. That was one of the books, like everything else, I dropped before, but he's always been my favorite, and he's always been very important in the DC events, Crisis, Final Crisis, and he may play a big role here in the Rebirth. One of the books that really has me intrigued is Superwoman. It's Lois Lane as Superwoman, written and drawn by Phil Jimenez. Well, that has me intrigued. So I won't go in whole hog with all of these books, but I'll have to pick and choose, and like everybody else, try it for a little while, see what sticks. I'm also intrigued with the Superman books because, as I understand it, the character in there is the pre-Flashpoint Superman.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, well, I can see your head spinning there, but so yeah, there are a lot of. I'm not going to go on a whole hog, but I'm definitely intrigued. What I'm really, really waiting for is that DC Rebirth number 1 coming out May 25th. That, to me, I get the feel of that, sort of like what happened with Infinite Crisis number 1, just, like 10 years ago. That anticipation, I'm going to stay off the internet for like a couple of weeks ahead of time. I don't want to be spoiled by anything. Because I even mentioned this list. It's, don't let anybody spoil this book for you. Don't go online. I'm going to go Golden Eagle that morning and get my copy.
I'm just a little concerned about the whole. It's really the twice monthly shipping thing that's throwing me off.
Okay,
because that's a lot to commit to, even if they're only charging you $3 a comic, which seems nice, right? Mm-hmm. That's still $6 a month instead of $4 a month, which is what I give Marvel. And of course, we don't pay full price, so that we're I don't know. It's just I'm hesitant. I read the first couple pages of this, and I'm like, ooh, yeah. And then I flipped the page and saw now shipping twice monthly, and I went, oh no, what do I do? What do I do?
Right, yeah, I didn't pay it. Yeah, there are 9 books, and just in this solicit insert, that are shipping twice monthly. I mean, there's Superman, there's Action Comics, there's Batman, there's Detective Comics, there's Aquaman, there's Flash, there's Green Lantern, there's Green Arrow, and Wonder Woman. I don't know if all of those can be supported twice monthly.
I don't know what to make of that, right? I don't know whether that's purely a money grab. I want to say that it's not, but really, do they need to give us that much story right off the bat? Can they ease us into it a little bit, I think I'd rather the books be $3.99 cover price and just get one a month than get 2 for $3 each. I don't know.
Only time will tell.
And how long are they going to stay twice a month? Right? Like, is it going to be only for 6 months until they slow it down, or is it going to be a year? How much do I have to commit to get into this? Or should I do what I used to do and just wait and then pick up some trades when everyone tells me what's good or not?
That's true.
I've gotten the habit of, I get Marvel books monthly now, and I hadn't done that for a long time, but within the last, year or so, I've started picking up monthly books, and it kind of feels fun to sit down with that box of comics every month and read them and not have those pile of trades. And sometimes Clara reads some of them, and she was intrigued when I told her that they were restarting the DC universe kind of again, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
And she was like, ooh, what books are you going to get? And what, so I'm getting 2 readers out of some of these issues and not just one, so I'm getting a little more for my money, right? But it's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, the one thing with, you mentioned trades, with the twice shipping twice a month, you'll get trades quicker that way. If it's going to be 6 issues, you'll get it in a couple of months then.
It's true, right? I mean, the solicitation for the trade will have to come out almost by the time the first issue comes out, right? I mean, think about it. Yeah. If they're going to put 6 issues in a trade, the lead time is 2 to 3 months on a solicitation, right? So by the time they're soliciting issue 2, they'll be by issue 3, they'll be soliciting the trade. So, what you still reading Marvel books at all? Have you slowed down there too?
Some of them. Let's see, Silver Surfer, Thor, Hawkeye, Black Widow. Those are the 4 that come to mind right now. I tried Daredevil, but I didn't care for its new direction. And not really pick up any of the Avengers books. Just
I've been reading my favorite, the all new, all different Avengers is excellent.
That's Mark Waid book, is it not?
Yeah, and with Mahmoud Asrar drawing, it's
man.
really
See?
yeah. It's been really good. It's just a fun team book, right? It's not like taking itself too seriously or anything. It's just I've been really, really enjoying it. When that issue hits, that's like the first thing I read. And of course, I'm reading like all the Bendis books, Guardians, and both Iron Mans, and the new Spider-Man title with Miles. What's his face?
Miles
Spider-Man.
Morales.
Yeah. So I'm reading all those books, and I get access to like most of the X books, so I've been reading those, and I really like the state of the Marvel Universe right now. I think it's quite fun. I generally like the Secret Wars thing, and I've been pleased with the outcome of that and what's happening. I'm just really enjoying it. It's for me. I'm just sort of like letting it wash over me. I just read. Well, I always read at surface value. That's not really anything new. But this time, I'm just sort of really just enjoying the simplicity of it. Yep, there's my Marvel characters. They're doing their thing, and it's fun, and I like it. And that's the end, right? I still love Bendis. He's still my favorite, like, monthly comic writer. He knows his brain is like tuned exactly to mine, and he knows exactly what buttons to push to make me like his comics. Everybody has different opinions, and I don't care. That's fine, but he is my writer. That guy was born to write comics to make Brian Deemer happy. It just so happens that a lot of other people seem to agree, and so that he has a job and has had a job for quite some time. But all I care about is that he makes me happy. So I buy all his books.
Very good.
The Star Wars book is awesome.
That's what I hear. The whole Star Wars, a lot of the Star Wars books from Marvel, I'm understanding, are still really good.
I've read most of them, but the main Star Wars title, I think, is just required reading. If you're any kind of a Star Wars fan, that book does not disappoint. Like, it is absolutely worth the money. Just to have that every month, you get a little tickle of Star Wars, right? It just keeps feeding in, and it's not fluff. Like, it's actually really good stories. I read like the first, 18 issues or whatever of Darth Vader, which was pretty good, but I stopped buying it because I don't think it was enough to warrant spending the money. And I did just read the first issue of the new Poe Dameron comic because I'm curious about that character, and that was pretty good. So I'll definitely be sticking with that for a few issues, see where that goes. And of course, I read the Lando miniseries and the Chewbacca miniseries, and they were fun. But the main Star Wars book, if you're a Star Wars fan and you haven't checked that out, buy that one. Skip the others because they are not as required, right? As valuable, I think, as the main title. But I think if you love Star Wars and you're anxiously awaiting the days till the next movies come out, fill the gaps here with that Star Wars title because it's awesome.
Is the show over?